Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Top Tier Talk. Hoyland is 7 goals away. Full-time whistle's just gone. So Chavez, take it away. Victory against Aston Villa.
Yeah, today we made history. We beat our first ever top nine team away from home in the Premier League 1.5 years into Erik ten Hag's tenure. It was actually his first time. We didn't do it all of last season, but a big game to win. Villa were good. They were better than the reverse fixture, which was only in December. Emery, again, just a bit stubborn, very attacking. But to be fair, today they had to be attacking. They were home. On the flip side, we are down to one fullback. Luke Shaw got injured halfway through the game, and the one fullback we have was absolutely outstanding. That was Diego Dallo's best performance in a Man United shirt. He's been here a while as well. He put in about 5 goal-worthy crosses, last-ditch tackles. I mean, he was Wan-Bissaka and any other attacking defender that you know at fullback in one. It was just great to see. Maguire got man of the match, but I think that was a bit of bias from the media because Varane was as good. Aside from that, Højlund scored again, 7 away now from Vardy. Douglas Luiz was brilliant in the midfield battle. Villa played us. That Ramsey guy, he's a brilliant player. He was basically playing left wing, which surprised me. Some of their players seem more athletic than ours. Leon Bailey was really good, but obviously Lindelof came in at left back, so he kind of had to take advantage of player out of position. We're a bit unlucky with this whole defensive thing, so I'm not too angry about our defensive performance because we deserve to concede way more, by the way. Onana was outstanding. This was Onana's best performance since Copenhagen when he saved us. It's going to be tough to top that one. And yeah, Rashford, by the way, disinterested. He went to doing jigsaw puzzles on the weekend. I want him to go clubbing again. We need him post clubbing. And Garnacho was bright. That's about it, really.
So obviously just touch on the worst parts, I suppose. I've obviously been an advocate for Rashford hate for years. Are you seeing the light now? Are you finally Rashford out? Are you
Gasp.
gonna? I'm going to start
No,
off with the bad parts.
Dan, he's got everything in him. He just doesn't look like he cares. Today, I don't know. It might just be me, but he did not look like he cared. By the time he got subbed off, by the way, Rashford is what, 28 now. He should be the last person getting subbed off. It's a bit embarrassing on his part that Garnacho and Højlund are staying on the pitch and he's the first one who has to come off. But he deserved it. Like there was no other player who deserved to come off. And guess who came on for him? Scott McTominay, top scorer for Man United in the Premier League this season, 7 goals now. He's been brilliant off the bench. Keeps doing the job.
He's
I'm not sure there are some players that definitely don't have 7 goals in the Prem this season. McTominay is beating a few strikers, Højlund being one of them.
he is
Well,
the top
Arsenal
scorer
as
off the
well.
bench.
He was being
I'm
marked.
sure he is. I'm
He
sure he
is.
is.
He's the top scorer off the bench in the Prem.
He scored 2 against Forest off the bench. Those two, like two back-to-back last-minute goals. I mean, he's brilliant to have off the bench. But yeah, it was just a good day all round. On to I don't even know who we're playing next, but I feel like we have easier games until the derby at the start of March. We have to get a run of games together. We're still 5 points away from Villa, which is embarrassing on
You
our
went
part.
got
That we have
Europe, have you not? Champions League, not
No,
Champions
that's
League.
the advantage. Yeah, that is the advantage. We have no Europe. We have no other football aside from FA Cup. So
Oh, of
we
course,
really need
yeah.
to gain pace. Yeah, we really need to
You got
gain
fours
pace
on the
now.
cards now. Because you got a few players back, obviously. Do you think top four is what you're aiming for now?
I mean, the players I was crying out about coming back, I was so gassed about were Martinez, Casemiro, and Shaw. Two of those players are gone again,
They're
so
out,
we
you
just
know.
can't catch a break. And yeah, and by the way, Casemiro got a yellow card purely because he was Casemiro. Matty Cash, beautiful dive. He should go in the Olympics because that was shocking. And I hope the ref looks back on that because that was purely a reputation yellow card. By the way, if they've introduced the sin bin rule today, I was just watching the game from a sin bin aspect. That would have been the most confusing match of football because there were so many cynical fouls left and right. I don't know how the referee would have been able to navigate players
Four v
coming in and
four.
out. It would have been extremely confusing. There was a lot going on if the sin bin rule was there. So we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
Anyone
Let's
else?
see
Any,
what.
any questions or?
No, nothing from me. They're
That's,
winning back to back.
It's
Amir,
good. It's good when there's no
we'll
questions.
move on to Elliot next. Very, 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 if I can get my words out, emphatic win against West Ham, 6-0. I suppose it is a London derby. West Ham tend to be quite a bogey team for you, but today you got the job done. And unlike last year, Saka scored a penalty at the West Ham Stadium.
It's nice for you to bring that up, Dan. But you can also bring Amir into this because he was live and direct, like watching the game. But but we'll get
Which
to that
side was
later.
he sitting
Anyhow,
on?
for the first half an hour, it seems to be pretty controlled by us. We were pretty much dominating, and then West Ham decided for the last bit of the second half they decided to capitulate, and then we got 4 goals before half time. I don't know what happened to them. They just decided they didn't know their arse from their elbow, and we just basically, as I say, was it capitalized on it? So.
Yeah, you do.
And then obviously moving on to the second half when we got 2 extra goals as well, 6-0 was pretty straightforward. I think the stat said we had about 73% possession throughout throughout the entire game. And then we brought like little joke man players on. We brought Nketiah on, we brought Cedric on, and everything like that. And then Elneny nearly got a goal as well. So I'm pretty happy at the moment. It seems to be we've kind of like forgotten that form that we had between when West Ham beat us at our gaff and then Fulham the week after when we lost 2 on the trot, and we kind of just went, what's going on? And we've kind of found something again where it's only 3 teams in the title race at the moment. Anyone could obviously think that we're not, but we are. And I think Amir has a lot of things to talk to me about because apparently we're cringe FC in his eyes. But he was live
Yeah,
there watching the game and getting abused by us Arsenal fans, which is fantastic.
yeah.
Love to
I
hear
was
that.
watching. Should I go into it, or are you ready?
No, well, I was just going to say,
Go on, go on.
we got Burnley next away, which is Sean Dyche's old land. So hopefully they've broken out of that play 11 behind the ball football, and we can still get 3 points there because then we got the major game, which is in 10 days' time. That's Porto away in the Champions League. So that's what I'm saying. So obviously Burnley away is obviously one of them games you still need to win. You still need to get 3 points away, but it's kind of you still want to rest some of the players, important players that will play maybe 4 days later in that Champions League, you know. And I just want to say as well in that game for Porto, by the looks of it at the moment, I want Leandro Trossard starting up front for us when we play Porto. He has been integral to our attack recently. He's been amazing. He's been offering everywhere, like for Martinelli, he's been offering on the right for Saka. He's been making different ways for them to run in behind. I think he's been superb.
Not
Yeah.
not wanting Nketiah to start in the UCL, no.
No. Trossard all the way.
Suppose we're
That's
moving
He's
on
deserved
to
this spot. Honestly, he's deserved this spot. I don't know if you could probably put a bias aside of me and say that Trossard's been quality ever
Yeah, it was
since he
good.
stepped up to the
he's got a
boots.
handful of goals this
It's a
season.
shame that you kept Eddie and you let Thingy go. What's the other Balogun go?
Balogun, he
It's a
wanted to
shame
go,
he
bro.
didn't.
He was
It's a
forcing
shame
that.
he was the one that didn't get the start. But yeah, let me come into obviously, as you said, I was
West Ham
watching.
fan.
Yeah, I was watching your team play more times than I've watched. I think you've watched your team play so far this season. But yeah, let's go into Cringe FC. Before the game, I had a close eye on Arsenal because obviously that's the
Number one
team.
critic.
And even from like pre-game, they were just cringe because I'm going to call them cringe from now on. Doing the huddle near the away end, the camera around them, trying to make it like all about them, like we're all together, one for all. And then we get into the game, they're 4-0 up, and then Martinelli starts celebrating, like shielding the ball from a goal kick and all of that. It's just cringe FC. Do you know, Arsenal fans, they're like, I don't know how to say. We all know that one guy who's cringy, but like he'll do more cringy stuff and then get
You.
violated, and it's like, why am I getting violated? Like that is Arsenal, unfortunately. That is cringe FC, and they don't know why, but they keep doing stuff that's cringy, and I don't know why they do it. Like 4-0 up, who celebrates a goal kick at 4-0 up? You do that at 2-1 up in the 90th minute, like trying to get a 3 points. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of cringy stuff, and then Havertz as well getting the lowest sofa score rating. It was just funny, man. You scored 6 goals, but it's cringy, man. You make stuff so cringy, just like win the game, innit? Do you know what I mean?
So
Cringe count.
cringe count.
What's going on?
I'm
What's
gonna call
going
it
on?
cringe FC.
I
Every
can't
game's
believe
cringe
this. This
FC.
is always
Mate,
just gonna
do you
have
have
that.
a footballing? Do you have a footballing?
Yeah, do you have an
for Arsenal
actual
today?
input?
Yeah, I
for
do
us?
actually. Yeah, no, fair enough to them. They absolutely battered West Ham in the midfield. Who West Ham have a decent midfield. Declan Rice controlling the game. You can see the difference him for West Ham and Arsenal with a team with possession with his goal. A lot of the fans around us were like clapping and stuff, clapping him for the goal because it was a banger and he obviously didn't celebrate. But
Mate, what's
yeah,
gone
no,
wrong? David Moyes was supposed to get a new contract lined up for him, and suddenly 2 losses, and who knows
do
now?
you know what I mean? With David Moyes, obviously the style of football is the main issue there, isn't he? He's very
Just change his
defensive.
headline from Amir to Chelsea to Amir to West Ham just for this video.
I can do whatever you want, mate. But it's the style of play that the fans have an issue with. It's too defensive. They obviously didn't sign a striker in January as well, so obviously they're quite very. It's very thin squad now. They got rid of Ben Rama and stuff, so obviously fans are going to be quite unhappy. And I think they obviously want a new manager, forward thinking, playing around from the back, not this hooting the ball up all the time, route one football and stuff. So obviously you can see it from their end, but from Arsenal's end, like fair enough to you guys, like you won 6-0 and you've gone from third to third. So it's like it's quite good. So like I'm quite happy for you. But,
Thank you.
I still think there's 2 teams in this title race. I think you guys will capitulate. I don't
Yep.
think
Yep.
you'll go far.
Okay,
in
mate,
the-
what do Arsenal need to do for you to consider them?
Yeah.
What do Arsenal need to do for you to consider
That's a
them a
great
part of the title race? Just a part of it.
I think
Actually win
Tony-
it.
I think in the summer,
No,
if they
forget
get
about winning it.
I think if they get Ivan Tony only in the summer and keep majority of their squad and maybe.
What? No, now.
No,
What would before the
now.
summer? Like, what would you consider them being in the title race? Not winning the title, just being in it. What do they need to do for them
They
to
have
be
to
in it?
compete, they have to beat Man City whenever they play Man City. I
At
think.
their ground.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
but
They
this
beat-
will get further on. No, yeah, Chavez, keep a screen recording or some shit of this because let's say the
the
hypothetical
recording,
comes true and we do beat them, and we'll back it up and say no, actually, when they get to like the
Oh, also, yeah,
36th
yeah.
game of the
Man City
season
are the
before
Okay,
biggest.
okay,
they're
no,
It
no.
on,
Do
depends
you know
on
what,
not going
Amir?
tipping up like last season and bottling it.
tier
against
one
South.
hater.
Mm.
Poor
No,
guy,
Amir,
his team is doing so
Amir,
astronomically
wait,
bad. He
wait,
has
wait.
to flame other
Amir, you
teams'
made a
greatness.
point. You made a point. You said that you're waiting until Man City beat them. Sorry, they beat Man City. So
Yeah.
all the games Arsenal play until the 31st of March when they play Man City, if they win all of that, you still wouldn't consider them a part of the title race until they play Man City.
No, because Man City is the big test. I think it was the big test last season. So I think you've got to beat the teams ahead of you because they're obviously better than the majority of the league, including us and everyone else. They're obviously the
Including you,
favourites.
100%. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't say you wasn't, by the way. Even though you drew 4-4.
I just wanted to reiterate that point. Sorry,
Scrambled
just
back, but
including you, 110%. No shadow of
yeah,
a
in
doubt. But
your
continue.
the 2 seasons that you guys have obviously been at the top, you bought the league and you haven't won anything. So
Okay,
yeah,
and you've been
difference
eighth,
when other
and now
teams.
you're 11th.
I
Been eighth,
suppose.
obviously. Yeah,
Well, I
I
suppose I
think.
missed. I was
Go
going.
on,
The
go on,
thing
say
is,
it.
well, no, I was going to say. I think it is. I was going. I think from your point of view, it is just constant Arsenal hate, just because you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah, you got
Like,
anything
no,
else?
if that was
There's
any
nothing to
other
say.
I
team,
think
He
they break
hates
it.
us
They
doing
break it
well.
on.
If we win a game, we
Yeah, but why would
cringe.
I
If
like?
we lose a
Yeah, but
game,
you've got to think
oh,
of it
we've
from.
done it. That's it. It's
Got to
game
think of it
over. If
from.
we
you
draw,
can you can surely appreciate what they're doing.
No, the 6-0 was very good. The football wise, it was good. It's just the antics around it I've got to
yeah,
hate. 'Cause it was very cringy. If you guys, I'm sure El was cringing as well watching it from the
do you know what
TV
it
because
is? No, of course not. I
he
fucking love
played
my
it, does
team.
he?
They do what they want.
It's
They
very
do what they
cringy.
well please with performances like that.
And you don't sometimes
But this is
think
the
that the
thing. Let's say, for
antics are a bit
example,
like.
Chavez, Dan as well. Hypothetical, yeah. Let's say we do win one of either the Premier League or the Champions League. It won't be enough for me. You should have said you should have done both then, or
Should have
No,
you
won
I
the
should have
think
quad.
done. You should
Should
have.
have
We
won
should
the
have stayed in the
quads.
FA Cup and won that as
No,
well.
I always
Should have done
said.
the Carabao Cup as well.
No, I always said if you guys win the Champions League, you'll be the biggest club in London again. I always said one Champions League's enough for you guys. So I stand by my word. But last season especially the amount of talk your fan base said we got bigger fish to fry when you went out the FA Cup and all the other trophies, you were 8 points ahead and you ended up bottling it. Then yeah, it is quite embarrassing, and
Okay.
it's looking that way against this season because you've got more teams to compete with now. Last season it was you and Man City and you're 8 points clear. You're third now Liverpool are in it as well. So I think it's much more difficult for you guys to
Yeah,
win
it's
the Premier.
difficult. 100. Yeah.
But it's obviously it's a style of football. You got to appreciate it. Obviously, it's very like close to Man City, and we all appreciate Man City, so we got to appreciate it. But in terms of the
Wow.
antics outside that and the behaviours, the
There you go.
where
Back to
I
it.
where
Yeah.
I
He
come,
had. It's
do
like
I
a
ever
fucking.
do
Big
I
It's
cycle.
ever
like yin
Yeah.
and yang, isn't it? It's like yin and yang.
do
It
Yeah,
has
I
you
to
can't
combine
can't
to
say
kind of
too much
function.
positive.
do I ever like critique your games when you're playing? It's never the football; it's the behaviour around it. That's the funny aspect, no?
Why does that matter to you though? Don't
Because
understand.
you don't think sometimes if it,
Why do you
no,
care?
no,
Are
no,
you
no.
their
This
PR
is the
person? Are you the
matter.
man
Why,
behind the
why,
camera
why,
saying,
why, why,
"This
do,
is
why do
not
we
gonna
never hear,
sell"?
why do we never hear like Pep, for example? We talk about Pep's
Because
behavior.
that team's boring. It's all black and
Why
white,
is
isn't
it?
it? You man
What,
have nothing as
what
well
do you
because you're
mean it's
always
boring?
losing and have nothing.
What do you mean it's? Why is it always Arsenal's behavior we talk about, or like what Arteta does? Why is it always we talk about them and not other
Because
man?
we're the shining light.
What do you mean you're the
We're
shining
the
light?
actual. Well, according to obviously what everyone was saying about how Arteta was celebrating too much, apparently that's the only team who's got the enough passion in the team. Why is no other manager celebrating goals like that?
I think a lot of other managers have got passion. I think Klopp's got a lot of passion, but it doesn't come
But
out as
it doesn't go against him. No, when he celebrates.
no, because there's like levels to it, and with Arteta, it's very camera based in my opinion. It's from my end.
Okay.
Obviously, your manager, he's done well for you. He's brought you back from like being eighth and like Europa League. You obviously think he's your saving grace, so he's not going to do wrong in your eyes, and you won't critique him. But from other
Like Poch.
perspectives, that's the issue. Yeah, obviously, Poch.
I suppose. Right. So Amir, you've had your waffle about Arsenal. Take it away with Chelsea.
And then moving to us, we had Villa in the FA Cup replay, which obviously everyone was writing us off because obviously Villa are one of the top teams this year, and we ended up outplaying them and winning 3-1. I mean, a couple of the points from the game, Conor Gallagher scored his first goal. I didn't know he had a goal in him in his locker, but fair enough to him. He scored and he hit top corner as well. I didn't know he had that in the locker. Fair play to him. Enzo, what a free kick. I mean, showing his class there. And afterwards. Some people claim over celebrating, but I think it was a statement from all the reports coming out of him wanting to leave and his agent saying no, he wants to stay, he's committed, and he proved that. So there's obviously no more talks there. Some people also will claim that's over the top. I don't think so. And obviously Nicholas Jackson getting a goal coming back from AFCON. I think we missed him when he was in AFCON, but him playing on the left could be something different because I think he played very well off there. Because I don't think he's good enough to lead the line, but he obviously brings the ball. He's a good carrier of the ball and stuff. So on the left, he looked quite um effective, really. So yeah, and we've got Crystal Palace tomorrow. With our form this season, it could be a loss because they haven't won in quite a few games, and obviously Roy Hodgson's under a
You
lot of
got,
pressure. So it could
I was going to say, you got
go
lucky
well.
against Palace at home, didn't you?
We did. It was a penalty. Yeah, we did get lucky at home, and this is at Selhurst Park, which is not an easy ground to go to. So potentially could be a little bit of squeaky bum time, but we'll see. But yeah,
That's the thing with Chelsea, though, as you said, it's form. It's you could like because Villa scored right at the end, didn't they? So that probably should have been a 3-0. Same as
yeah, really.
you could go and turn Palace over, or if you give them a sliver, Palace will turn you. Like there's no
If we
consistency with
go,
Chelsea
there's
this
a
year.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, but we want to
Yeah,
make it steps forward. So if we play like we did in against Villa with the midfield dominating, see Enzo sitting, it was a major difference to him playing higher up the field. As a Roy Keane saying, we dominated that midfield. So hopefully, if we can do that, because we have the players to do it, should be
so
Palace.
call it
Yeah,
out. Score prediction. Give us a score prediction.
I'll give 1-0 Chelsea. Very
1-0.
I'm gonna be very conservative.
Basic.
Fair enough. I suppose the last thing, or last things, I suppose, internationals. Qatar obviously winning
I mean, he's
the
got a
Asia
lot to say
Cup.
about that.
Everyone, especially Amir, predicted a Korea-Iran final, which probably everyone in football did.
Yeah, I mean,
But the football gods had their
that
way.
game I still haven't Iran Qatar I still have not recovered from. That game was probably our best chance of winning the Asia Cup since I think the last time we won it was in 76 off the top of my head. But we should have won that game. We had the players to do it. We couldn't contain the striker Afif who in the final scored the hat trick of pens, did that celebration. We couldn't contain him. A lot of silly mistakes. I mean, I think the occasion got to Iran and some big players, Taremi didn't turn up either because we had some chances at the end and we should have won. So it's a big, big opportunity and we didn't take it. And obviously we're paying for it. I didn't agree with one of the assistant coaches coming out after and saying that the issue with one of the issues is a lot of the Iranian players, they play outside of Iran. So there's no like cohesiveness. But I think the Iranian league's not as strong. And I think if players want to develop, they should go into Europe and stuff.
Like Jahanbash, obviously with Brighton and
Exactly,
things like
Jan
that as well.
etc. When you go into Europe, I think it's when you develop the game further. So I
It's
don't
just the
agree with
quality
them.
of football's better.
Yeah,
It works for Germany, for example, in the Euros when they had that spell, and Spain, obviously with that spell of everyone at Madrid and Barca, because of the quality of football's higher, coaches are better, so on, so on. But as you
yeah,
said, like in the Iranian league,
who's it?
there's
Yeah,
like realistic, no disrespect, obviously, but
no, of course,
I'm not, I can't say I'm an avid watcher of the Iranian league, but I'd
mm,
presume it's probably
no,
Championship
it's
League
very,
One
very,
standard, really.
yeah, very, very poor quality football. And obviously, Jordan reached the other final. They beat South Korea, and I wanted Jordan to win because I didn't rate Qatar, and obviously,
And they beat you.
yeah, they beat us, and obviously, like, do you know what I mean? Just, but they won the game.
No
So
shame in losing to the winners, though, Amir, I suppose, is there?
when you should have beat the winners, there's a big
Well,
shame because.
you should have beaten, but
Yeah. But
softens the
AFCON,
blow a
guys,
bit.
AFCON finals in about half an hour. Who you guys got for winning AFCON? L, who's yours?
Yeah,
I'm
spit
going
it
to say
out.
Ivory Coast for Pepe's sake.
Pepe's sake.
Ooh, fair enough. I'm gonna go Ivory Coast because of the home nation, they're the host as well. And Dan, I think you're going.
You have Nigeria, William Schuster Kong FC, penalty taker,
Of course, of course.
getting back down the Vic.
Fair enough.
I
Any other
suppose.
talks? I mean, obviously Bayer Leverkusen still unbeaten. They beat Bayern 3-0.
Yeah,
Crazy, isn't it?
you can take the men
Xhaka
out of Tottenham,
masterclass.
but you can't take the Tottenham out of them, Ben. Eric Dyer and Harry Kane. Sorry.
Harry Kane, you gotta feel sorry for him, man. I think he's a record-breaking season, and he's not gonna win a trophy, is he?
Well, they're
Like he
five
went
points
there
off.
because we
Yeah, but
win
Dortmund
it.
were
Granit Xhaka
five.
said no.
Dortmund were
Granit
5
Xhaka
points
decided
top.
to take a quick
Dortmund were 5
time
points clear
off.
last year.
Keep him at bay.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you think
just two
whoever win a
games.
trophy in his career, guys? Do you think Harry Kane will ever win a trophy?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Euros this year.
and the World Cup in
Ah,
26, and the home Euros in 28 as well.
what is
If
it?
they're the
Back
only
to
three
back.
trophies he wins, I don't care.
Ah. Any other talking points. And obviously, sin bins and guys, blue cards. You guys happy with the blue cards or not
No.
really?
I think
What's
that's
the point?
childish. I think there's no point in that.
I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was.
Because then it gives the referees too much power to
It's
say, "Do
Ange.
you know what? I'd rather just give him 10
No,
minutes."
but it was Ange turned around and went, "Our teams are just going to put 10 men behind the ball for 10 minutes." Like
Exactly.
realistically, if the Everton game at the weekend, Tarkovsky's cynical foul to stop a break, which is going to happen. You're Everton away at City, you're not going to want to concede. They're then just going to camp back even further than they were already. It's going to kill the game off. If you're playing a team like City, it's inevitable they're going to score like City did. Did you watch the Everton City game, either of you?
Nah.
It was a
Also,
typical
like,
game. It would City were pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually, with 20 minutes to go, they cracked the
I
defense.
think you're. Yeah. I literally. I think
It's
you're
going to
right,
be
Dan.
games of like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
if it's I don't know. I was going to
Then
say
again,
Fulham Everton, but that was a crap 0-0 like a week and a half ago, wasn't it? So really, it doesn't make a difference. But
the thing is as well is that like when
like
will the FA or ever listen to us, actual football fans? They don't give a shit about us. They'll just be like, all right, cool, well, whatever.
when we
But
have enough money to invest in their game and line their pockets more than we already do, then they'll listen to us. But until that point,
I don't understand the blue cards though. What would constitute a blue card? Like, is it a
I
cynical
think
foul?
it's pure
I think it's
cynicism.
an
Yeah,
orange card. It must be like
No, it's cool. It's blue, but that's another thing. Why is it not orange? It's in between yellow and red. Why is it not an orange card? Why does it have to be blue?
people
Why
might be
you see that?
colorblind.
You
You
see
think you
that?
mean
See that tweet, and it was like blues too neutral of a color. Jota's going to think he's packed a team of the season.
honestly though, what would constitute a blue card foul? Because if
Do you
it's
know, like off the ball play where like you feel like an elbow in or something like that, or you trip someone up and then you start like
Kicking the
towering out. Do you know what I mean?
kicking the ball away stuff.
Someone you can tell who's being a prick for no reason just needs to
I,
set him down south off for 10 minutes and cool down.
the thing
Do
that
you know what
I
I mean?
will think, I will say this: the thing that
Only that though.
I do think that the blue card could potentially have a hand in helping is if you've already picked up a yellow in the game and you throw the ball away, you kick the ball away, you take too long on the throw in. Like who was it for Arsenal against Palace? Was it Tomiyasu? Did he get sent off for it, or it was he picked up a first yellow for it and then later on the game got
Tommy
sent
Asu's red
off?
card against Crystal Palace will
It
go
was
down as the
that, but
stupidest red card
the
in the
first
world.
yellow was for that. So, like, if that's then a player's second yellow, they'll give him a blue card to go 10 minutes. Stop wasting time.
I think there'll be a
I
clear
think
kind of like.
that'll
I
be
think that.
useful for
I
a
think
blue
that. I
card
don't
for
think they'll
that.
use
That'll
it
be
as another
useful.
yellow. I don't
No,
think they'll use it.
but that's what I'm saying. That'll be useful instead of giving a second yellow straight you're off the pitch, as we've said before. Red card is you're endangering an opponent. You've done too many little niggly fouls. You've time wasted to the point of you've picked it or you've combined any two. I
That's it.
think the
You're
blue
right,
card
you're
will be
right.
useful
at
for
the
that
same
and turn it
time
around
though,
going.
isn't it just like the refs are finding it hard enough as it is to make decisions?
The refs are
And
terrible.
it's just gonna
Oh yeah, that's a
increase,
different
talking
conversation.
points, and it's gonna like increase the should that have been a red card or a blue card, and like it's just gonna
There's going to be loads of binoculars on there with
yeah.
decisions.
Oh oh yeah, no, the blue card discussion is completely different to the refereeing discussion. Like we say, to be fair, we've had a couple of episodes that we haven't really mentioned referee, which is a refreshing touch, I'd say. But it was a period of just every week. It was VAR this, like it was referees that, it's officials that. It's just
Crap
like
that.
just yeah. But I think that brings us to the end of the episode, I suppose. Before we go on a half an hour rant about referees,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
suppose
I
I've
don't think there's much more to
touched
talk
on the
about.
internationals. We touched on nothing. Well, nothing's really happened this week. It was the FA Cup
That's it.
replays.
You'll hear back next week when Amir's still waffling on about how we're cringe FC when we smoke Burnley away.
Listen, if Cringe FC don't do anything
Yeah.
cringy, I'll be quiet next week and give positivity. If I don't see one thing cringy, and I'll actually, do you know what we'll do? I'll have Daniel and Chavez neutral to verify if the act I'm talking about is cringy or not. If it's cringy, I'll talk about cringe. If it's not cringy, no cringy talk. Deal?
Okay, fine.
Oh, here we go.
I'll
Thank
still
you
nod and smile and nod.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and
Yeah.
wave. Thank you very much for watching, and until next week, goodbye.